Happy Friday, my friends. Sorry about the delay. I know I was about, a minute late? My kids are home for PD day. It's fun to try and juggle. Welcome to the end of the week. I hope everybody had a fantastic Remembrance Day. And I hope some of you guys are able to enjoy the spread that I had created for Remembrance Day. Now, it doesn't matter if you call it Remembrance Day, Memorial Day, if you celebrate it or not, if your country doesn't have something like that. Know that you have the ability to tap into that time of remembrance and reflection. You have time to reflect in and connect into that, gratitude and I guess love for those that you may or may not know who did sacrifice for you. They sacrificed for everyone. All right. So bear that in mind, though, especially as we go forward into different holidays and events that are coming forward. I know that there's a lot of them coming up as we head into the winter season. And now many people, as we are on the 12th of November, are into, okay, it's holiday mode. My American friends are prepping for Thanksgiving in a couple of weeks. People are getting ready for the holidays. Yesterday, late in the afternoon, I saw lots of my neighbors putting stuff up for Christmas, as still, knock on wood, we don't have snow yet. So people are getting into that mode. Now, whether or not you celebrate it or not, you do have the ability to connect into that energy and, embrace some of the joy, the happiness, and the excitement that's coming forward. And speaking of forward, nice little segue I set myself up with there. Today, we're going to be looking and exploring the week of, and this is crazy for me, November 14th through the 20th. In this week, we are going to see the full beaver moon come up near the end of the week. I will be live on Wednesday looking at how you can start to embrace that energy. The full beaver moon comes in, I believe, on Friday night. So as of Wednesday, we will be able to tap into that amazing divine feminine energy and into some of that energy and guidance the full beaver moon wants to share with you. We have 2 days before and 2 days after, so we have some time there with it. And if it's anything like the hunter moon, it's going to be quite a really jam-packed moon, and there's lots that we can get out of it. So for this week, I have one of my favorite combinations: Everyday Witch Oracle and Tarot. Now, yes, they're brightly colored, and yeah, do they have to do with witches? Yes. Do you need to be a witch? These energies are universal. It's just cute that they're little witches. And most people associate tarot or anything divinational with being a witch. So I enjoy the fact that they've got the bright colors. It's very clear what the pictures are trying to tell you. And those symbols, they transcend through both decks and they speak so well together. So one of my favorites. Like always, I do have links below to both these decks. So should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. I think that's important. It's one thing to see somebody read with them. It's another thing to be able to start to connect in with the deck yourself. All right. What can my friends expect from the week November 14th through the 20th? So this week, we're starting off in the middle of pretty much the middle of the week, Monday's November 15th. So that's going to be a nice balancing point, and kind of we're hitting into the downward hill of November. Like I said, way back in August, when as we were starting to prep into September, I knew that the fall was going to just kind of cascade into, December. I knew there was more stuff that we needed to do. And many of us had lots of prep work to do. Such a fantastic card. Earth magic. Now, you don't need to be a witch to do earth magic. Earth magic. Earth magic is grounding, connecting into Gaia, connecting into that stability and foundation. This week, you're going to need it. Barring like time one, I'd start now. The more grounded you are, the more stable you are. Well, not only are you going to be able to receive the most out of the end of the week, well, you're starting off on a good kilter because the energies that we've been dealing with, and kind of my real big point of shift and change in the energies was when Gemini came in on the 20th of May. When we had Castors and Pollock come in, I'm like, ooh, there's lots of push and pull in this reading. And throughout the end of May, beginning in June, lots of push and pull. And I'm like, wow, Castor and Pollux are a little bit tantrumy this time. And then it just transcended into lots of natural disasters and fires throughout the summer. And the energies cascaded into the fall. And we still have had lots of high dips and low crashes. So the more grounded you are, the more you're going to be able to weather that, because it's not going to change. It sucks, but it's not going to change, is what I'm being told. I just keep being told the same thing. Make sure that you're bracing yourself, you're using your tools. There's more to come. And there is more to come. Air magic. I love the fact you have two very clear systems working together. So in the religion or the witchery way, there's 4 elements. As there's 4 elements for most of us. We have got the air, we've got the earth, water, and fire. Will we see the other 2? Using these 4 will support you in that stability and that groundedness, and it will help you get the most out of this week. Air magic is that insight, that aha that you get. And we get it because it just kind of pops into your head. Also known as whispers on the wind. It's going to be there. The more grounded we are, the more open we are to these ahas. I've helped you with some ahas. I've got lists of meditations that are going to help you, especially with the meditation that I published this past Tuesday on the 9th. It's about remembering. That remembering is going to go a long way. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I like to give you guys the guidance and the tools to get you going. So I do have 3 meditative playlists, and then I also have a mindfulness playlist. This last week on the 9th, I published a meditation called Remembrance or Remember on my Just You and Me playlist. All my all my meditations, all my tools are guided, and I support you along the way. Okay. They vary in length and time, and it'll tell you on the timestamp. And most importantly, they are free. I'm not a monetized channel. I would tell you if I was. I get nothing from them. Any advertisements that you get, that's a YouTube thing, not a me thing. So you can use and reuse these meditations as you need to support you. You can revisit them as much as you need. Those ahas, they are there for you. And I will let you know a little bit of a preview here. On Tuesday the 16th, you're getting another one. It's in a different format. It's going to help you with that aha and remembering what it is you need. Because November is very much getting you ready for some of the challenges that are going to come forward in the winter. I know that it's going to be challenging for many of us, as again, many of us are not going to be able to have that normal or traditional Christmas or holiday. Many of us are going to still be struggling with our mental health. So there's lots going on, and it's going to be all compounded, and you're going to see it really hit a high after December 21st, and we're really into that long night. And then we get into the January blues. So we want to work now, so we're not trying to catch up in December and January. Don't worry. I'm here. I got stuff for you coming up in January. It's going to be fantastic. Let's get into this week. I'm already getting into this week already, and I don't even have cards down. Do this. What can my friends expect from the beginning of the week? So the beginning of the week, you're looking at the middle of the month. You're looking at that meditation coming forward on the Tuesday. Yeah, good times. I love publishing those meditations. So fantastic. The 10 of Pentacles. Reconfirming and reaffirming that need for groundedness, that stability, and connection. We're struggling. Everybody's struggling. The stuff that we're dealing with are global events. The energies, the weather, the pandemic, you name it, and everything just adds up. We need to make sure that we are connecting into our supports to support them and be open to the support they can give us. It's that balanced approach. No matter how we have to connect into our friends and our family, we need to do it. Even just that quick check-in, that quick text, that phone call, and if you can, that physical connection. It's going to be important. It'll help give you an added layer of groundedness because you're connecting into family and friends, and this is important, guys, that are supportive, and it's a balanced, positive relationship. We all have family members that are not that balanced, and they are not that, well, supportive. Those toxic relationships are not what we're looking at. They may be in your birth family. That's a whole other thing. And yes, you would have known about it before you got here. Something you wanted to work on. That is another project that you added on. These are individuals, friends, family members, loved ones, whether you're biologically related to them or not. That's who we need to be supporting and connecting in. If our family members that are toxic and what I like to call energy vampires, so after we're done with them, we've had a connection with them, we feel exhausted and just heavy and gross, they're an energetic vampire. They're dealing with their own stuff. So my suggestion, take some time to make sure that before you go, you're grounded. And then afterwards, I have a meditation that I did at the end of September, or is it October sometime, I believe. It's my Archangel team up. It's the only one I've done. And it's with Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael in some cord cutting. It will make you feel stronger because they're not continuing to suck your energy dry after the interaction. It'll give you some healing. It'll help center you, and it'll help ground you. You can also do something as nice as taking a bath or a shower. That too will help to rejuvenate you after that interaction. If you know that you're going to have to interact with somebody who is not in a good space, I have a protection meditation. Actually, I've got a number of them. Pick one. You can go into the Archangel playlist. I've also got some in my protection or in my Just You and Me playlist. Because that connection is going to be important, that human element, if you will. What is the middle of the week? What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? Now, also bear in mind at the beginning of the week, don't be surprised if your family isn't coming after you for something. Your family and friends needing you to do X, Y, and Z, getting that kind of stuff sorted and going. So making sure that you have that awareness, but also not getting too hyper focused in on stuff. You want that balance, okay? You've got that grounded, centered energy. Is this them panicking, or is it something that they need help with? It's about using that air magic to your advantage to check in. And it's okay to say, okay, just give me a sec. Is this, what I'm hearing you say is you need me to help out with X, Y, and Z, and it's really bothering you. And as you say that, you can think about it. Is it them being triggered by stuff? Or is it actually that they physically just need you? Okay. So bear that in mind because this explains it. The Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands talks about feeling that burn, feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. We cannot be everything for everybody. I know, right? Say it again. We cannot be everything for everybody. It's a hard lesson because we want to help everybody out. We want to be there for our family. We want to be there for our friends. Oh, we've got our job. We've got our kids, our dog, the pizza delivery guy. We can't be everything for everybody. We need to set those boundaries. Like I said in the Ten of Pentacles, that protection, that's important. That balance is important. We now have double tens to really amplify that need for balance. Not to mention that the Ten of Wands talks about that burnout. We need to put those boundaries in. And this is a hard one, guys. To stick to the boundaries. We're really good at trying to put something in and not maintaining it. At the end of the day, the only person that's going to really be challenged and kind of get all the consequences is going to be you. Because if you cave, you're going to feel that burnout. And it's going to impact you physically, mentally, and spiritually. Because when one goes, they all go down. So taking that time, setting those boundaries, and sticking to them, even if it is hard. Now we do have the double tens. In angel messages, when you have that multiple 10, the angels are telling you that this is part of your journey. This is important. Pay attention to it. This is a pattern that we need to break. Like I said, we all have family members, we all have friends, may not be as high vibrational or in a good space that have that positive, balanced, high vibrational outlook. Can we change them? No. But can we put in boundaries and can we put in protection? Absolutely. It's important that we stick to our guns no matter how toxic things are. And this can be and usually is something that is an ongoing, perpetual problem. Like I said, we knew about it when we signed up for this journey. It's part of your learning and theirs. All right, let's go to the end of the week. It's pretty heavy at the beginning, right? What does the end of the week bring, my friends? Now remember, guys, that balance is going to be important. And sometimes it is about using that knowledge base to our advantage. So with the air magic, I really feel it in the almost like the King of Swords, where we have that Vulcan mentality where you're like, it's illogical, Captain. We need that now. We need to use our high vibrational critical thinking so that we can create solutions that are going to work for all parties. Will all parties like them? No. Will they help you? Absolutely. Yep. That's not surprising to see this. The Five of Cups. How we've been so hyper-focused in on stuff that is not serving us. It's causing us energy depletion, exhaustion, and burnout. We've been missing the two upright cups that are going to bring in what it is that's going to help us out the most. That joy, that happiness. We're not going to be trying to do everything for everybody. We balance things out. We do a little bit for those who really need us. And it may be just you got this, you go. Whereas others, it might be a bit more. we still have time for us. We still have time for what's meaningful, brings us that joy, that happiness. We feel good. Time for us. Balance. So the end of the week, especially when we start to look at those boundaries and we start to say, you know what, I can't do this. I can't be everything for everybody. I need to prioritize and I need others to take back some of that burden. And in some cases, I know that there are carers in my group, where you have family members with disabilities, parents asking for more help from the collective, from the community. We don't have to bear this alone, and we shouldn't. When we start asking for the help that we need, it starts to lessen our load, giving us a better understanding of what's going to support us rather than keeping us in this perpetual burnout. This is a fantastic week about growth. That's why we have the earth magic and the air magic combined, because we're going to get that insight, that aha. We need the stability to keep us grounded while we do this, because it's not going to be easy. It's never easy when you're asking people to take back what they need to do, when you're saying the dreaded no word. I know, right? It's so hard. We're taking off some of that burden and we're connecting into stuff that we've forgotten or that we feel like it's been too long. Giving ourselves that little bit of encouragement and nurturing that we need. Because the high vibrational beings have been telling you stuff, have been leaving you those messages. We've been feeling depleted and exhausted so much that we've missed them, or it's just like, oh, it's there. Okay. So taking that time for you. Like I said, on Tuesday, I'm going to have a short and sweet meditation. It's going to help out with some of those ahas. Because we do have that air magic, that added insight and guidance for your journey, that information that we may have lost. All right, as challenging as this week is, this isn't the challenge. Let's look at those challenges. What challenge will my friends face at the beginning of the week? The Two of Wands. So twos, that double, again, what we're looking for is going to bring in that balance. We're missing it. The beginning of the week, we're going to feel so unstable and unsure. We're going to feel that burn even before the week starts. Many of us are carrying it for the last almost 2 years now. We need to take that breath. We need to bring in that balance within ourselves. We have that ability. Meditation that came straight to my mind when we said we need to bring in that balance, there's actually two of them. One is a meditation I did with Archangel Sandalphon that helps to bring in that stability within ourselves. Archangel Sandalphon works with music. We don't tap into it because he's there. We have that ability to tap into his amazing energy to bring in that harmony within ourselves. That meditation for sure will help ground you, but adding in Archangel Sandalphon's many hats will help. Another one, and this one will really help with that passion and creativity, is one I did with Archangel Jophel. Was the first one I did with her. So fantastic. She can feng shui our brain, so get rid of some of the swirlies, the monkey brain, and help us really focus in on what's going to be important to us. When we do that, this instability, this uncertainty changes from an obstacle to an ally. When we're intentional and focused, we get so much out of it. So things that will support you in overcoming that challenge. All right, let's go on to the middle of the week where we're looking at setting some of those boundaries and kind of rocking the boat a bit, because that's how many of us, your family and friends, are going to feel is like, oh, why are you doing this now? Don't be surprised if they don't use that exact. What do you mean? Why are you doing this now? Why? That burden, that exhaustion is only going to get worse. And you're going to burn out. And if you've ever been to the burnout point, it's just gross. It's just gross. I speak from experience. It's gross. And of course, Sun. The 19th card in the major arcana, that joy, that happiness. You're going to resist it because exactly what I just said. Why now? They're going to challenge you and you're going to want to cave because it's easier. It's not going to get easier when you can barely get out of bed because you're just so physically and emotionally exhausted and tapped out, and you feel disconnected from everything. Stopping that slippery slide now will help, especially as we go into the winter. Because like I said, December and January really are going to be a bit of a bear for us. This is what I am being told. And it's not rocket science. We know that the longer the nights are, the more we crave that sun. And the less we have it, well, our emotional state becomes unstable. There's actually a psychological disorder called seasonal affective disorder. And that's exactly what it is. Can we be impacted on certain years? Absolutely. Given the last year and a half, almost 2 years, it's not surprising that we're going to struggle with it. So, given all that's going on, given that energetic craziness that we're dealing with, we know it's coming forward. So, we're going to be looking at, well, it's just going to be easier to cave. I'll just keep trudging forward rather than taking that time to gain that balance, to gain and connect in with stuff that's going to give you life. It's going to give you joy. It's going to fill you rather than take away from you. So the more you ask for what you need, the more you reach out for the support, and not just go, can you please help me? When they say no, you're just like, ugh, okay. Rather than trying to be that martyr, just say, okay, I'm at a point. Either you help me or I'm going to start to burn out here. And be very clear that that's where you're at. When we're honest with ourselves and those around us, they're more able to help us. We can create plans that are going to be supportive rather than everybody scrambling, especially during a time of year that people feel strained already. So using our words and sticking to our guns and just saying, okay, well, if I can't do it, then what's going to happen? And in some ways, especially if you're dealing with teenagers who go, I don't want to do it, and they don't, what happens if you don't do it? Sometimes those natural consequences, when we're not looking life or death, they're a good kick in the pants, right? We need to work with our system. Sometimes it is shaking them up a bit. So just be clear, use your words, stay high vibrational, don't get vindictive. But again, it's about sticking to those boundaries, being high vibrational and working with your system. Because even with the sun here as a challenge, it's still, think of it as a sunny day with those white puffy clouds. It minimizes the impact of the sun. However, it doesn't negate it. It's still there. You still have that ability. Again, when you stick to your boundaries, you can use these as supports to overcome some of the challenges. Think of it as when you're hiking, if you come to a path that has a big log over it, it's a challenge, right? You can use that challenge as a tool. There's nothing stopping you from climbing that log. Sure, you can go under it or around it. You still can go over it. About thinking and using your critical assessment skills rather than just shutting down and victimizing yourself. Okay, I know this is kind of a harsh reading and I apologize, but I think this is like We said right here, this is part of our journey, part of our learning. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it too much. I know, but sometimes when you sugarcoat it, the message is lost. I want that message there for you. What challenge will my friends face on the end of the week? And guys, don't minimize the pain that this brings. There are ways to work through it. I've got a meditation with Archangel Metatron that's releasing that pain. We want to work through it. We don't want to hold on to it. We don't want the Five of Cups to turn into a sword that we're dealing with later. Release it, acknowledge it, heal, and move forward. The Fool. So this can be a challenge, or again, a tool. If we focus in on these three, we're going to miss out on the opportunity for that new beginning. We embrace the two out of the five. So if you embrace the two that are upright, people that are going to support you with really moving forward and allow those around you to move forward, the Fool is going to be there for you and them. If you continue on and you want to be that martyr, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out on those new opportunities, those very exciting ahas that the Fool has. The more carefree, the more excited you are, the more you're going to gain that insight. We don't want to get bogged down in that heartache and pain. Like I said, we need to acknowledge it, we need to release it, we need to heal from it. All right. What's going to support my friends the most in embracing all they can for this week and releasing what they need? Oh, really? I ask that they keep it on the table. Sometimes they just get so very excited. Supports here, guys. Okay, I'm going to start off on the one that's on the floor because it was really, really, really excited. Yes. Imagine and envision. We have the ability this week to create a pathway forward, especially when we embrace the Two of Cups, a pathway forward that's going to be very supportive and high vibrational for you and for those around you. Rather than the status quo, rather than you burning out, rather than them continuing on to ignore what they need to, again, some of our family are using us to make things easier for them. There are patterns that they need to break too. We can envision and create something so much more powerful, so much more rich and prosperous than what we currently have. Do you believe I said the others are going to be important too? So this is fire magic. That inner flame, that willpower and drive, that solar plexus energy. You're going to need it? Absolutely. We're challenging people this week, guys. We don't want to do it in a hostile way or in a low vibrational, ego aggressive way. But we are asking people to break patterns. Because there is a pattern that you want to break. So that inner fire, that inner flame, that creativity is going to be so needed. Taking that time and acknowledging it, using it to your advantage. This is given to your passion. Giving in to that Two of Cups and embracing it. Giving you balance, giving you hope and joy. It's going to feed you and allow you to go forward and feel good, knowing that you're no longer overburdened with stuff that isn't yours. You're able to embrace things that you truly love and that feed you. You feel so much better. A little bit. Water magic. did believe I said that the 4 of them were going to be important. So that release, that cleansing, it works so much better. Yes, I've got lots of release meditations that will support you in this. However, you can intentionally add in releasing and healing as you shower. So before you get into that shower or bath, you can say, I'd like to release what I'm holding on to. It's not serving me. Please help me get rid of it as I bathe. And then as you're in the bath or in the shower, you can visualize that heaviness, that gunkiness just be washed away from you. Now, don't worry, that energy is automatically transmuted because we set that intention. Our guardian angel is always with us and will transmute it back to a high vibrational energy, so it won't hurt or impact Gaia. Just to be clear, make a move. Because lack of intention, lack of drive will be your decision as well. So if you don't actually intentionally do it, you don't put, well, the words out there, you don't ask for the help that you need, you don't set those boundaries, that's like doing nothing at all. You're continuing to focus in on what's not working. And you're going to miss out on some of these amazing opportunities. That's the biggest challenge that you have across the board here, is embracing those opportunities, those amazing aspects that are right there. That fear of moving forward. Remember, take it one step at a time, small baby steps. The first card we drew, groundedness, that earth magic, maintaining that stable energy within, taking those baby steps one step at a time will create movement. We're not talking leaps of faith. I do not do leaps of faith because they're unstable. We get fearful and we regress. And it's not usually regressing back to where we currently are. It's regressing backwards even further. So we have literally, it's one step forward and 20 backwards. So taking it slow and steady allows you to continue moving forward in a stable manner and being able to maintain what it is you're trying to do, the shifts that you're trying to create in your everyday. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. This week, a bit of a challenging week, but one that's been in the making for a long time. Take it one step at a time. And there's only a few things that you remember from this week, breathe, ground, keep going. You got this. Again, I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. You may not like what you have to do this week, but if it helped, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do like to post a number of times during the week, and I'm not always on the same day. Fridays, yes, I do like to do my weekly reading. However, I post on other days as well, depending on what's happening. So if you're subscribed, you're not going to miss out on anything. And there's lots more amazing to come, my friends. So remember, breathe, ground, keep going. Until tomorrow, my friends.